Hi, welcome to Mad English TV. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you about tools and measurement. Okay, so this thing here is called a measuring tape, and this is called a ruler. Now, in North America, we usually measure things in feet and inches. A foot is about that big, and an inch is about that big. There's 12 inches in a foot. Okay, so this is what a typical ruler looks like. We have these long lines, and we have shorter lines, and even shorter lines. Okay, between two long lines, that's 1 inch. And between a long line and a half line, that's half an inch. And then we have even smaller measurement, 1/4 of an inch. And then it just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller, 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch, and so on. Okay, now when we measure height, we use feet and inches. So for me, I'm 5 feet 10 inches tall. Okay, 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot, 6. Oh wait, I'm not 6 feet because a foot has 12 inches, but I'm not 12 inches. I'm only 10 inches. So I'm 5 feet 10 inches tall. So we would usually just say I'm 5 foot 10 or just I'm 5'10". So if you ask me how tall I am, I would just say I'm 5'10". Okay, so let's look at some basic tools here. We have a hammer and we have a nail. So I could say I hammered the nail into the wall. Okay, but the word hammered can also mean drunk. Okay, you could say I got hammered on the weekend. It means you got really drunk on the weekend. All right, this is called a saw. You could say, I saw a guy sawing down a tree. Sawing down means cutting down. So I saw a guy cutting down a tree. Okay, this is called a wrench, and this is called a bolt. So this wrench is the wrong size for this bolt. Okay, this is called a screwdriver, and that's called a screw. All right, now screwdrivers can sometimes have different heads. Okay, this is called a flathead screwdriver. There's different kinds of heads, so you need to make sure you get the right head for the kind of screw that it is. Okay, these are called pliers. Now pliers are always plural, just like pants or jeans. You have to say these jeans or these pants, these pliers. You can't say this pliers, okay? So let's look at some measurements here. We measure length or height in feet, inches, meters, or centimeters. We measure distance in miles or kilometers. We measure speed in miles per hour or kilometers per hour. And we measure sound in decibels. We measure age in years and months. Now, this is important because in Western countries, we only measure the age at the end of the year. So you only turn 1 year old when you finish the year, not when you're born. It might be different in your country. In a lot of countries, when you're born, you're 1 year old. And when you finish the year, then you turn 2 years old. Okay, we don't use that system here in Western countries. Okay, so we measure temperature in degrees Celsius or degrees Fahrenheit. We measure weight in pounds or kilograms. We measure electricity in volts or watts. Now, in North America, we use 110 volts. But it's probably different where you're from. Your country probably uses 220 volts. So that means when you come to Canada or the US, you might have some problems with your electronic devices when you plug them in. Okay, so we measure liquid in liters, gallons, quarts, or cups. And that's it. Okay, so I want you to tell me about a measurement that's important to you. It could be your height, it could be your weight, it could be your age, it could be how cold it gets in your country or how hot it gets in your country, in which case you need to use degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit. So let me know whatever measurement you want to tell me about. Tell me in the comments right down there, and I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.